KPITians, we are very, very excited to be with the face of KPIT today. How many of us have actually dreamt and probably even pursued cycling as a hobby or probably to keep ourselves fit? And how many kilometers have we been able to accomplish cycling in one stretch? 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 100? How about 600? No, let me be precise, 648. So today's face of KPIT is Akshay from our Tim's team. He has some remarkable achievements in cycling and is a great pride for us at KPIT. So welcome Akshay to face of KPIT.
Hey, thank you, Sunil. I'm happy to be here.
So Akshay, can you tell a bit more about us and what do you do at KPIT?
Sure. So I am, as you mentioned already, I'm a part of Teams team, and in Teams I take care of global network operations.
So Akshay, when we heard and got to know more about your accomplishments, it really was very exciting for us. So maybe we'll try to take a few steps back and really start with how this entire journey began. So where did this entire passion for cycling start? How did you take it up? Why did you take it up and how did you pursue?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back a long way in the past. So one day I was exercising in a gym. I tried some heavy weights and that injured my shoulder. And I went to physio. He said, nothing doing, 3 months, complete rest. I was so much into fitness that time. I said, this is not done. I cannot just sit and relax for 3 months without doing anything. And then I started cycling. I took cycling as an exercise.
What really started as keeping yourself a bit more fitter kind of led you to cycling. So what did you do with that interest? How did you pursue it? Did you have any goals in mind when you started or you just went along the way?
So I decided to try my hands on with cycling. I bought a second-hand cycle and the first ride that I did on that cycle was of 5 kilometers. And those 5 kilometers were like, wow, this 5 kilometers cycling, this is super fun. And then I started cycling regularly after that. I gradually increased my distance, although I never had any goal in my mind that I have to do this many kilometers in this much of time or something like that. So while I was cycling, one day I came across a group of folks. They were all clad into proper cycling gear. Until that time, I wasn't even aware what all the special cycling gears you need while cycling. I used to cycle with just normal sportswear. Then when I saw them, I talked to them. So I understood from them many things about the cycling events. So cycling as a sports at different type of events. Some of the events that let you cover a particular distance at the, I would say, relaxed speed. You don't have to rush. While there are events which are more of a sports kind, where the challenges are bigger. So I decided to start with the BRMs, we call it, brevet. So brevet is a French word. It's basically a long distance cycling. You have to do it at your own. You are not allowed to take help of any third party. There are different types of brevets. When I started, it started from 200 kilometers distance, but now I think they have introduced 100 kilometers. So 100, 200, 300, 400 and 600 kilometers are the different types of brevet. And then you have to maintain a speed of minimum 15 kilometers per hour. That is the cutoff time for brevet. So, but that time 200 was mountainous distance for me because I was, doing some 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers kind of cycling. Then one day I decided to try 50 kilometers. So one way I traveled 25 kilometers. So that was my strategy. So I was not sure how am I going to do 50 kilometers. So I decided that I will go 25 kilometers one way. So I had no choice but to travel back again 25 kilometers. So I did that 50 kilometers distance one day, and that gave me real confidence that yes, this is something that I can do. Long distance cycling is kind of achievable. It is not that difficult as I thought initially. Over the period, I caught up with like-minded people. I became a part of a very active cycling group community, and there was an announcement of 100-kilometer cycling event. It was my first ever longest distance event. I went full blown on that event. I finished 100 kilometers cycling, I think in 7 hours or something, 7 hours plus. Then I enrolled myself onto Breves. Now, since 100 kilometers was done, I started looking forward to 200 kilometers Breves cycling event. I did that, then 200, 300, 400, 600. So all those cycling events I completed.
Yeah, that's very interesting, Akshay. I probably cut you off when you were talking about the main championship. Tell us more about how you kind of went towards that main championship, how you hit that 600 kilometer plus mark.
Yeah, championship is a very big word actually. But yes, so that was something that I started looking forward to. So there is this annual event of Deccan Cliffhanger, and it's 648 kilometers race. It starts from Pune and it ends in Goa. But to make up for the 648 kilometers, the route is not straightforward to Goa. It goes via Belgaum and then comes back and then goes into Goa via Chorla Ghat. And while going also, it is not a straight Khambatki and Satara. From Khambatki, you have to go to Mahabaleshwar, and then from Meda Ghat, then to Satara. So they try to cover as much of elevation possible en route to the Goa. My target was to finish this race in the best time as much as I can. The format doesn't talk about any breaks. That is up to riders. The rider can take break whenever, whatever time he wants, after abiding by the rules, having a crew car behind you in the night time, so on. So race started from Bhogao, 5 a.m. in the morning on 24th of November. And the cutoff was 32 hours for 648 kilometers the next day in Goa. So it started Khambatki Ghat, then you have Pasarni Ghat, Mahabaleshwar, then Meda Ghat and Satara. So things were going great. We reached Belgaum at late night or early morning types. Sunday early morning types Belgaum we reached. I took a break there. I took a nap also. I think it was some 30 or 45 minutes nap. And it was all going great till that time. Continued our journey. Then we hit the Chorla Ghat section early morning. And it was all going well. Incline was fine. I was handling it. I was handling the way I decided to handle it. The gear combination, the posture, everything was going well. And suddenly my rear tire burst off in that ghat section. So that was first puncture I experienced in my DC event. So we had 3 cycles. One was my primary cycle. It was a road bike. Second was also a road bike. And third was a kind of hybrid bike. So I decided that I will continue riding a second road bike. So I gave this cycle to my crew. One car started fixing the puncture. I took the second road bike, started riding. I rode a few hundred meters and realized that I was not able to change the gears of that cycle. I got off and we checked in the night and we found that the rear gear derailleur, there is a component that helps you in switching the gears. That was kind of bent. Then we give that cycle back and I got a news that my first cycle is okay. I was like, wow, this is great. I took my first cycle, started riding, couple of more 100 meters and boom, second puncture. That was then kind of shocking, or I started losing my focus, the tempo I was in for so many years continuously. Again, my crew came running. They took the cycle which was punctured and gave me the hybrid bike in that ghat section. This was all happening in the early hours of Sunday, 25th. I started riding that cycle and I suddenly found that I was no longer able to change gear. I could not understand the combination of gear, because what has happened is since the start of event, Saturday 5 a.m., I was onto different type of cycle. with a different geometry and different kind of gear combinations. And then I'm suddenly on the hybrid bike with a different kind of geometry and gear combinations. So my crew understand, they were looking at me. I finally started walking, taking my cycle in hand, because that's again a rule in DC. Come what may, you have to have a cycle with you. You can walk taking cycle in your hand, but you cannot walk alone for covering the distance. I started, so one of my crew member actually suggested, instead of losing time, the mindset that I was in, they realized that what I must be going through. So one of them suggested, let's start walking, taking cycle in hand. So I started like that, whatever distance I could cover. We took a break at a hotel. And to come out of that exhausted stage, I started gulping on whatever I could. They gave me energy gel, black coffee, some energy bars. So after, I think, some 45 minutes, I kind of started getting back into the reality and my own thought process of, no, I am going to complete this, come what may. I will complete this race. But in this whole drama, we lost around 1.5 to 2 hours, and those were very crucial hours. We lost them. That gap was widened between me and other racers. Nonetheless, I got my cycle back. They end up replacing everything, tire tubes. They decided that no more fixing of tubes or anything. They replaced everything, gave me the cycle, my primary cycle, and then I started riding. Yeah, so I finally crossed. There is this silver line on the finish point. So it was a kind of a sentimental thing for me, crossing that silver line. And I finished in some 30 hours and some couple of minutes more on top of it. And that race is a pre-qualifier for race across across America. So there is this bigger event which starts from East Coast to West Coast in America. So that's few thousand kilometers cycling, and that's I would say father of all the endurance races in that particular race. So this race is a pre-qualifier for that race.
Amazing, yeah. And a lot of people have taken up fitness in different ways. Many people have been wanting to, of which I'm sure cycling could be one of them. Whenever people go to a nice equipment store, whenever you see a nice cycle, you're always excited to kind of pick it up, right? But now someone in your family or they say that, hey, come on, just kind of buy it, put it in the garage. So, and I'm sure that some people may be wanting to make that jump, and some people may be still hesitant. So, what would you like to tell people who want to kind of take this up, right? Maybe if you can share some short couple of suggestions.
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to exercising out of gym, you've got 3 kind of exercises. So the first and very difficult and very calorie intensive exercise is swimming. After that comes running, and after that cycling. So if you look at cycling, that way it is very safe than running or swimming to start with, and it is much more comfortable. That is first part. Second part is you have to be patient and persistence. That is true for anything you do in life. I don't have to tell you separately, but especially when it comes to cycling, you have to be persistent and patient, because when you start cycling with the right size cycle, initially you might experience some pains and aches here and there, but that's fine. As long as you are sure that you have got the right fit cycle, those pains and aches will go off or go away in time. Second, this just reminds me of the misconception that cycle is a cycle. Any cycle will do. What is there to size or type? But it is not like that. If you are taking up cycling as some serious exercise, you have to be serious about the equipment that you are going to use. I have seen people, I'll buy a cycle for myself also, and my kid can also ride. Come on, that is not going to happen. Even though it's a cycle, look at it or think of it as a shoe. Will you be able to wear the same size shoe for everybody? No. Your kid and you are not going to use the same shoe. Your sizes are different. Your body geometry is different. So don't compromise on that, please. Make sure that you are choosing the right size cycle. And then there are different types of cycles. You have mountain, hybrid, and road bike. My suggestion is always go for hybrid. Start little. Don't, try to say, I have got a new bike, I'm excited, and I'm going to do 30 kilometers on the first day. Depending on your existing fitness level, you may or may not be able to do, but it is always good to judge your body before taking a long jump. Start with small and keep on increasing it gradually.
So fantastic. So I think your last sentence kind of captures it all. Start small, but be steady. So we wish you the very best for all your future endeavors, and we are very proud to feature you on the Faces of KPIT today. All the best to you again.
Hey, thank you, Sunil and team, for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
So that was episode of Faces of KPIT. Did you like what we do? Whatever your comments are and whatever your feedback is, please share with us in the comment section below. And if you know of people in KPIT who have some extraordinary achievements to their name and would have to be featured on Faces of KPIT, again drop their name in the comment section below. And do not forget to keep following KPIT updates on the My World homepage. So until the next episode, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great time. Thank you so much.